Previously, on the Owl Preservation Society. We find the party wrapped up in a world where giants have started to act strangely and violently. They were enlisted to try and end the giant threat. To that end, they have travelled to the temple of the Allfather and have communed with an oracle therein. The oracle told them that the hierarchy of the giants, the ordering, has been broken by the Allfather to wake the giants from their complacencies. To end the giant threat, our heroes must gain a teleportation conch and travel to the king of the storm giants, King Hecaton's realm. Before the oracle will give them the location of a conch, however, they must prove themselves by retrieving lost giant relics from Barbarian Burial Mound. Upon leaving the temple, they were gifted an airship by the ancient dragon known as Klaus. We join our party now, however, on a more personal mission. During their quest, they have discovered that the wizard of the group, Morrics, has been the victim to a terrible crime. His mother has been kidnapped. She left him a letter behind in her home informing him that someone arrived at the door telling her Morrics needed her help. She believed him to be fraudulent but couldn't risk it. She went with him and hasn't been seen since. Believing an old foe, a Kenku monk named Wind Changes, to be responsible, Morrics hired 8 dwarves to search for his mother. They were led by a good friend of Morrics, Narlo McDuggin. The dwarves have recently been in contact to inform Morrics that they had a lead. They had picked up the trail of the dwarven party by travelling to Phandalin, where Narlo's story has started to unravel. The heroes now plan to leave Phandalin and head south into what they think is an ambush, perhaps set by Narlo.
Tonight our players embark on an epic side quest, and if first steps are an indication, I fear for the rest. As disasters aplenty deliver pure anxiety, ladies and gentlefolk, I give you the Owl Preservation Society.
Frank, could we have Frank's drunken notes, please?
These are all bullet points, that's all ever right. Axe didn't do anything. 2 big levers. Puzzles are hard. Anam is Allfather. He's everyone's dad. We all went flying. Burping didn't help. Ignorus, 126. Tanis, 93. Don't know what them numbers are about. The word hello about 60 times. I think I was just doodling there. Then restore the ordnance. Fighting the ancient enemy of the giant. It's dragons. The giants, just the word giants. Find magic. It's either courier or corner. Is if to turd. Hecaton scats.
Definitely go downhill, don't they?
Quant lords of all of the gooses. Afgar is human god king. Retrieve relics. Dragon dude loves Caius. And then there's a picture of a dick.
Thank you, Frank. Yeah, I don't think I even need to do a recap. We're all on the same page. So you guys are all in Phandalin. What are you guys doing in the Sleeping Dragon? Taurus kind of turns to you all and he says, "So, are you staying the night, folks, or are you heading straight out?" He turns to Morrics. "Yeah, must be in a rush to find your mum, I suppose."
Yes. Do you have the room though? Because we can set off in the morning. And Morrics going to go, oh no, he's just going to go like, what's going on downstairs, and tap his foot on the floor and like, do a little wink.
And Taurus leans over, gives you a wink, and he says, "Go and have a look, Morrics."
I wink back and do it.
So you go over by the fireplace, pull up the bear rug to where you know there is a secret basement that you fought a vampire in. Taurus comes down. "I've had a bit of a renovation for you. I've set it up a bit different for you. You got a bedroom in there, got a study, got a library. I thought it would work if ever you guys needed to hide or anything like that. I've got a bit of pool round here, you see, so I've got the work done on the sly."
Wow, this looks amazing. I've got a motherfucking globe. I like the little office table in the pentagram.
Yeah.
It's good natural light from the big glowing sigil on the floor, you see. I thought it'd be a good reading nook.
I reckon you'll sit around the meeting table and your eyes roll back and it's like going. Yeah, if it's not secret, then I'll tell the others that we can hang down here.
Dibs on the hammock.
So everyone spends the night in Phandalin. Let's say that you all end up spending the night in Morrics' new, I don't know, what do you want to call it, Morric? Is it a lab or study? Bachelor pad? Wizard cave?
Harem?
I don't know.
Okay, so you spend the night in Morrics' as yet untitled lair. Yeah, I think everyone kind of sits around drinking. You're all kind of trying to take Morrics' mind off what's going on, and he appreciates it. He eventually retreats to his bed, finds a difficult night's sleeping, knowing what's coming in the next day. But the rest of you just kind of, like when you ended up at a house party, you all just end up asleep in really weird places. Gizzle, you wake up with a bit of a hangover, asleep on the anvil, and Marlowe's in amongst all the coal, and Haji's asleep under the hammock, like on the floor. Quite make it to the hammock.
Are me and Marley still at the manor house?
Yeah, I reckon so. Do you?
Okay.
Well, I don't know. Where do you reckon you slept? You were there until you watched sunrise together.
Okay, I reckon we're drunk enough to smash a window and go sleep in there.
The whole top of the manor is in ruin. You gave Marlowe a key to a door that doesn't exist yet and a key to the basement. But I like the idea that you wander up to the ruins and smash the only window that's left standing and climb through the only bit of wall that's still standing up to get inside. And you're doing it all really quietly. You're tiptoeing and exaggerated.
Good times.
Good times.
Next morning, everyone wakes up and reconvenes in the Sleeping Dragon proper. Professor Coyote's still there, still on the same bench that he was on.
He's got a problem.
Yeah.
Good morning, Professor. Are you still searching for your loved one?
Well, have you seen her? She's yay high. And he's a bit drunk, and he just seems a bit dejected. Like his heart's not really in it anymore. Every time you've met Professor, he's gone at this search with gusto. But he just seems a bit sad.
I'm afraid not. Has something happened? I notice you've got several finished drinks here, and you look a bit shit.
Well, yes, thank you for noticing, I suppose. I just don't think that I'm ever going to find her. And he just kind of collapses onto you and sobs into your shoulder.
Is he blowing his nose on the sleeve and stuff?
yeah. If you've got any kind of cape or coat or anything, he's using it to clean his mustache, which is just all full of drool and beer and tears.
Well, I'm afraid I can't help you with that, but if you need to take your mind off things, we're about to go to our certain death. Would you like to join us?
Will you be entering into any caverns?
Yes.
Okay then.
Excellent, and bring your pokey stick.
I will bring my pokey stick.
He picks up a mop on the way out. By accident.
That's brilliant, actually. Yeah, he gets up and he leaves his spear on the bench with you, and he grabs a mop on the way out, and he waves it. I got my pointy stick. Frank and Marlowe, I reckon, wander in.
Oh yeah, we do that, don't we?
Here I am! Ha ha! Hello!
Yeah, that was weird.
Did Marlowe not have a chance to talk last session? Because I didn't even realise he had a voice for it.
I don't know where that come from.
It's canon now. That voice is canon now. Every time Marlowe says anything.
I don't even know what I said. What did I do? what did it sound like? Just really enthusiastic. So what now?
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, that was good. I like that.
If my notes are correct, we are
Goose.
yeah, something about Quant Lords, all of the gooses. Let's go do that.
I notice and I pick up the professor's spear so that he's not dealing 1 damage with a mop. I'm just holding that until he sobers up.
For a bit of a recap, Oslevo, and we'll say that someone fills you in. The professor has been met several times, originally discovered in Wave Echo Cave. He is looking for a lost love who was taken from him, and they have taken her and they have hidden her away in a cavern somewhere. So he has vowed to search every cavern that exists until he finds her. There is probably a better way to go about it, but that's not what he's doing.
And he's a bit hit and miss when it comes to combat. 5
Yeah,
minutes away.
He's more missed than here.
he's an Eldritch Knight fighter, so a fighter with a bit of magic. But you guys have leveled up beyond him now a bit, so he's going to be a little behind you.
So you're gonna die.
Well, let's hope he doesn't die.
That sounded like mad foreshadowing.
Kill off all these characters so they stop bringing them along with them.
Yeah, your letter said that the dwarves headed from Tribor south. The airship is currently anchored in the charred side of Phandalin. The dragon cultists are going about like routine maintenance and things like that.
It's
If we take the airship, because Oslevo is quite paranoid, I think he should tie rope around him and everyone, like to the hull.
I'm just
He's
grabbing my bag of rope. It's my rope, Mark. But now that you mention it, it is a good idea.
I think we should take the airship. I've forgotten the voice.
Swedish.
No, it's not. Yeah. I just
It's turned into like a grove.
Hi. To Westbridge then, via the airship. Is that the plan?
Yes.
Yes.
I think we should wave at Echo Cave.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, yeah. So you guys head on over to the airship. All climb on in. The morning shift take over as the evening shift head on down to get some rest. A few of you they ask for help, like pulling ropes. Is anyone doing anything in particular? Anyone wants to to help or
I'm
investigate
gonna
anything?
jump on
or-
the ballista on the front.
Yeah.
Crossbow on the back.
Because they serve us now, could we try and convince them to like change their uniforms so we don't get killed by flying bird people?
Yeah. What do you say to them in character voice, please?
So, servants, I've noticed you wear these masks and robes, and you look quite intimidating to the bird folk. So I was thinking we could change things around a bit, and I'll call Frank over because he's got the fashion sense.
I got clothes. Hello. How can I help you?
What do you suggest we dress these fine folk up as?
Oh, I've got lots of costumes, and I'll get my bag out and I'll chuck them all on the floor. In the bag, I've got some traveller's clothes, entertainer's outfit, a red brand cape. I think I'm still wearing the sexy cleric outfit, a really tight catsuit, flamboyant wizard's cape, some noble clothes, a zombie outfit. One of them's got to wear a zombie outfit, and that's it. The rest are hats.
You suggest all these outfits, and they one of them kind of walks up to you and says, "You want us to remove our sacred robes and our sacred masks?"
Yes, while we watch.
No. This is how we show our faith to Klaus and to He Who Flies Above. And at that point, everyone says, He who flies above.
Can I try and persuade them and say, you can't worship them if you're dead. You'll be dead if you wear those robes.
They're more than happy to die in the service of
Okay.
Klaus.
Well, the way I see it is, Klaus has told you to serve us.
Klaus has given you this airship, and we crew this airship.
Can I
If
get
you
the
would like-
robes?
If you would like to
Sorry.
travel without us, then you feel free.
How high are we right now?
Oh god.
You're still on the floor. You're still on the floor.
Can I just walk over there and just like start ripping their clothes?
No.
Got where's the new clothes now? So
Let's put some. Can we suggest that they put some clothes over the top?
Yes,
All of my clothes
yes,
are really tight. I don't know if they're going to get in.
Yes,
over the top.
that would be okay
What we
with
got?
us.
Tight catsuit.
One of them leans over to Frank and says, "Could I wear that catsuit underneath my robe?"
Yes. Can I also get a set of your robes, please? That was Jamaican. Can I get a set of your robes?
Do you vow fealty to the winged beasts, the draconic lords that rule above all of us, and especially Klaus, Do you promise to do his bidding? And if so requested, jump inside his waiting maw?
No, but I look good in blue.
Then you may not have a robe, I'm afraid.
Please.
Which is a shame because they're very slimming.
Okay, I'm walking off. I'm gonna spend the whole trip trying to find out where they keep their cloaks. As soon as I get out of eyesight, can I roll stealth?
Yeah, so you're kind of heading below decks.
Yeah.
Maybe next time we can find some nice over-the-top outfits.
Okay, so you guys are taking the airship to Westbridge.
I'm looking for cloaks.
So
there.
you guys off up into the air, above the clouds, and start floating over the mountains, and you see Crypt Garden Forest, where you did indeed meet Wind Changes for the first time. He kind of tricked you into giving him a totem of Caius, and you regret it, and how he beat Taurus up. Frank, you sneak downstairs. You can hear rhythmic snoring coming from what you know is the quarters, because you rested in there. Where are you going? What are you looking for? What are you doing?
I'll go look in this little store up here first for robes. Quietly.
Okay. I didn't think this was going to happen so early in the session. You creep into this room and start looking through the barrels and things. You find lots of... you start looking on the barrels on the right, and you find lots of salt beef and wine, things like that, like rations that will last a while, ale, lots of ale. And as you move round to the left, your hands just freeze as you see a bound and tied up dwarf, unconscious, on top of a crate to your left.
I would just like to cut in. I searched this room the last session.
You did. That is a very good point. And he was not there.
He was not there. Okay.
So he's been picked up during Phandelin.
Yeah.
Do I recognise him?
You do not recognise this dwarf.
He's bound unconscious.
Tied at the ankles and the wrists and around his legs.
Oh, what have I got? Stinks. I can wave under his nose. Can I take out some of my goblin fingers, because they got to be getting old now? And just I've got 4 trout. I've had them for ages. I'm just gonna whiff them under his nose like smelling salts. Little man. Little man,
you definitely can.
wake up,
You take these. You pull these rancid trout out of the bag, and they're actually like so rancid they start to drip through your fingers, and you have to kind of cup your hands. So you cup this rancid trout broth underneath his nose, and he coughs and splutters, and he wakes up and he says, bloody hell, what's that? What's that? Get it out of my face!"
Hello, little man. Have you seen any blue cloaks?
He looks at you, standing there with this trout broth dripping through your fingers. He says, "Bloody hell! What are you? I never seen one of you. You're a big fella, aren't you?"
I'm quite tall.
Where am I? Why have you bound me?
So no to the cloaks.
He kind of shakes his head a bit, like he's trying to get his wits about him. And he's like, no, it's a no from me.
Oh, are you meant to be here?
I don't know where here is, mate. I didn't mean to fall straight back into the same accent I always do, but I'm sticking with it now.
Yeah. You are on an airship. There's some dragon people. Yes.
An airship with dragon people? What?
This is not normal for you?
No, mate. No. Everything's a bit foggy, really. Why am I tied up?
I don't know.
Do you think maybe you could untie me?
Can I do an insight?
You can, yeah. What are you insighting exactly?
He might be a Rogan.
Like so you want to see if he's telling the truth about not knowing where he is, etc., etc.
Yeah. 8.
Normally that would lead to a really bad insight roll, right? Like you would, he's telling the truth or whatever. You get nothing from this guy. So it's not like you can't work out if he's telling the truth or if he's lying. You get nothing from him. So normally if that's kind of on gut instinct, he is like an absence of insight. You just find yourself confused. Everything that you normally use, like tells, body language, all of that just comes up with nothing.
Can you wait here? I'm going to get a friend.
As you're leaving the room, he says, "What about the ropes? No. Oh, okay, don't worry. I'm comfy on this really uncomfortable crate. Don't worry. Yeah. All right, bye."
He's the first person I see when I come upstairs.
Roll
guess
for it.
probably
Pete. Give everyone a number and roll for it.
1. Morric. I go to him. Morric,
Yes, what's up?
there's a little man downstairs.
Are you being dirty?
No. And that remark, I'll look downstairs and go, he's tied up. I don't think he wants to be. Can you come look at him?
Okay. I'm going to look to this red masked person next to me and see if he heard it and what's he doing.
I was whispering.
So you're whispering, Frank. So roll a deception roll.
24.
The dragon cultist doesn't hear you.
Although, as you were saying it to me, I was probably saying, "What? A dwarf tied up downstairs?"
A little man, yes. He gives me nothing. Come with me.
Morric can't tell if you're being serious or just being filthy, so he'll follow you for a little bit.
You follow him down the stairs, and he starts leading you down a corridor, kind of beckoning you, saying, come on, and disappears through the doorway in the end of the corridor into the storage room.
And I'll point and go, look, he's there. Little man.
Do you call in a little man? His eyes go over Morric, and he says, Morric? What the devil what are you doing here? This is Narlo McDuggan, the man in charge of finding your mother.
Oh, damn.
Narlo, what are you doing on this boat?
That is exactly what I just asked this large goat-hoofed fool who has left me. Can somebody please untie me?
Because we've come across several of these, like, pretend people, I'm a little bit suspicious because obviously I was told that he was heading south and I had suspicions anyway. So I'm just going to ask him, what were you doing in Fandolin?
I've never been to Fandolin in my life.
Well, what was the last thing you remember before you were tied up and bound on this airship?
And he's proper. Well, he's not rubbing his head because his hands are still tied up. But if his hands were loose, he would be rubbing his head. I remember getting to Tribor and talking to someone there about you guys, and then I sent one of the dwarfs to Fandolin with a message. Yes, that's right. As what you told me to do. Ranric. And he kind of clicks his fingers as he remembers. Ranric. I sent Ranric to Fandolin with a letter for you.
What was in the letter?
Detailed descriptions of what we had discovered so far, and that we were heading south from Tribor to try and pick up the trail.
This is concerning. Can I do an Arcana check to see if this guy's like anything up with it?
Yes. So, with a 22, like you said, you have encountered a few people who say they're one person and turn out to be another through some kind of magic means. I will say with a 22, you can rule that out. You know that this is Arlo, for sure. To the best of your magic abilities, there is no disguise self, etc., on Narlo here.
So I'll unbound him then, and I guess I'll fill him in on where we're going.
You untie him and everything. Frank's still kind of rummaging for some cloaks.
Oh, it's usually the other way round.
Rubs his wrists, rubs his ankles. He kind of looks at Frank and then back to you, Morric, and says, thanks for untying me. That was mightily uncomfortable up there. Where did you say we were heading on this on this boat?
West Beach.
And something clicks in his foggy head. That's where we were headed. South of Tribor, Westbridge. Yeah, I remember an inn. That's about it, I think. No, I remember a raccoon with a gigantic penis. Does that make sense to anyone?
If anyone,
he
it'll be
just
Morrics,
kind of
right?
he just kind of shakes his head a bit. That can't be right, can it? I remember an inn. Just pretend I didn't say that thing about the. It's my head hurt.
How big was the penis?
Much bigger than the raccoon.
I reckon
Must
this
make it
guy's
have to
dies.
walk.
So it wasn't a raccoon with a penis, it was a penis with a raccoon.
Is there anyone I can do
So
a
Morric-
check to see if I get a sense from this person, the same kind of sense I get from Marlowe, the deceased?
I'll put that into your roll of 22. No, you don't get that feeling either. This is the Narlo that you grew up with in Mirabai. You're sure of it. Narlo kind of turns to
Have
both
we
of you
lifted
and
off the ground yet? Just for
Yeah, you guys are in flight. Yeah.
Could I ask, did we leave the professor on the ground?
That's very
I'd
good.
like to think he was pissed. You tied the rope to him on the airship, so he's actually just dangling 20
He's
feet
hanging
below.
underneath. Yeah.
You came out of the sleeping dragon, and yeah, he was just passed out asleep. He drunk a bottle of wine. You tied him by the ankles to one of the sleds on the airship, and he's just dangling, waiting to sober up.
I'll save you pretty quick, won't it? Mark, should we tell anyone else about your little friend, or keep him hidden?
Well, we don't know who put him here, but it definitely does seem like it's an Arlo I know. So he's probably safe to come up with us. But we should probably tell the others that we're likely walking
Well,
into
I won't bring him
an
up.
obvious
I won't
trap.
bring him up. Yeah, I won't bring him up because he's.
Like, these guys clearly kidnapped him and put him in here. So
Yeah.
like,
We don't know that.
So Narlo is kind of like checking his gear. He seems quite. He goes to his back and realizes that whatever weapon he had wasn't there. Searches through his pockets, and he comes out with a white envelope. It has an M on it. This is maybe for you, do you think?
I'll just take it and open it.
All it says on it is, I heard you'd lost a friend.
Can I do like handwriting analysis like I do in CSI?
Yeah, could you give me a handwriting analysis check, please?
Yes, I can. Insight, I think.
I'm a linguist. I've got the linguist feat, so I
got 6.
I can create written ciphers. So surely I'd be able to, if there was a cipher, I could, a bit more.
Smell the envelope and all that kind of
That's-
stuff. See if you can tell.
What am I doing? Insight.
23.
23. Critical.
23. So you can tell that this letter is written in common, and that it's not a cipher.
Cool.
He got
And it
critical. Can you tell if that smells of anything like where it was written, or
Not with an insight check. I can't. No.
I licked it as well.
Can you please give me a lick check?
Yeah. I guess it's wisdom, innit? That's wise, isn't it, to lick things? Nah, don't worry about it. I'm going to get a drink.
It's just a plain piece of paper. As he rolled a critical, I will give you. It smells of nothing. There seems to be no evidence of smudging anything. It looks like it was written with a quill, but it does look very neat, very tidy, very clean.
like Wind Changes wrote it.
he's a bird.
You know,
I'm sure you can still write things. Racist.
it's got hands. Can't be racist. Okay. I'm going to stay in here. If it's all the same by you, I'm going to stay here. You go find out how I got here. There's lots of ale in here, lots of wine, lots of salt beef. I'll be fine. Thank you for cutting my ropes. And with that, he gives Frank another glare.
You're welcome. Oh, sorry. Varsågod. That's Swedish for you're welcome. Morric, should we go question the crew? Sneakily?
No, let's go question that dude in the middle, the reluctant one.
Not sneakily, just...
These whelps are no
I'm just
match
gonna-
for us anyway. We can just talk to them.
I'm just going to walk up on deck going, oh, are this like a dwarf? I don't like a little dwarf. Just loud enough for people to hear. Oh, I don't like a dwarf. Nothing.
I'm going to kick you in the shin.
Yeah. I'll go, that's right, I don't like a little dwarf.
All the dragon cultists are just kind of mopping the floors, tightening knots. No reaction from them at all.
I'm going to go this one near Giz go, do you like a little dwarf?
As in, like, dwarves but smaller, you mean?
They are little. Dwarves.
Well, I suppose some are smaller than other dwarves. Who are you asking me if I don't like?
Dwarves. Little dwarves.
These guys are not very good at social interactions. Well, I give my love to he who flies above, and at that point everyone goes, he who flies above! And I've not really given much thought to dwarves. They seem okay. I'm okay. I like small people. Small people tend to be cute. I don't want to keep talking to you.
That's understandable.
These wimpy motherfuckers couldn't have done it. They wouldn't have beat up a dwarf with an axe and take his weapon and bound him.
I'm going to go tell this person near Oslevo. Do you like
Unless
a little
you slag
dwarf?
off Klaus.
Do you mean dwarves that are smaller than normal?
Just a dwarf. They're little.
I'm okay with a dwarf.
Do you ever want to keep them? Like you like them so much you want to tie them up and keep them forever? Like squish their face?
I'm just looking at Frank like.
You're being weirder than usual.
Yeah.
Here again.
Oslevo's searched the room downstairs before. He knows that there's a lot of wine and ale. He thinks that maybe that's where Frank and Morric have been.
Everyone, listen up. There seems to be a dwarf tied up and bound in the cargo room underneath the deck. Who put him there? You, with the mask.
Can I gasp as if I'm shocked?
Yes, at the same time you gasp, all of them go, what? Like that.
Can we insight
they might
that?
not-
Can we insight that?
Yes, you can. Give me an insight roll.
21.
Yeah, they all seem genuinely surprised. The ones that you can see, Frank, the three of them that are closest to you, just because it's a lot to take in all at the same time, and they all seem genuinely surprised. And they say, no, the only guests we have are you, and you're all unbound, I think.
Did anyone come aboard the boat, the ship, while we were in Fandolin? Apart from you people.
One of them puts their hand up and says, just so you know, both terms boat and ship are acceptable for an airship, sir. And also, no, I was on watch the whole time and not one person entered onto this. I see that I stressed person like I was being misleading, but not one of anyone ventured onto this ship. I would pledge my life, Klaus, strike me down and eat. Oh, it would be so nice if he ate me. Klaus, strike me down and eat me if I am lying.
Detect magic.
On what?
The boat. The area. It's like got range, hasn't it?
Yeah. It's kind of what you can see. So you cast detect magic, and yeah, as you know, your vision kind of clouds over. You're still on the top deck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you look over the top deck. The cultists all have a faint, like, whiff of magic, almost as if they've been in the presence of magic. They don't seem to have arcane abilities themselves, but they've rubbed shoulders with the arcane. You get a massive hit of magic from the furnace in the center of the airship. I would say that you can sense some magic down below.
I'm going to go down below because I don't want to touch that furnace. No, I think I know what's in there.
Question: how does a furnace reach to the top when it's clearly not in the bottom deck?
It's the dragon in there.
You can do some investigating into the furnace if you like, RG.
I got a 12.
So heading. Okay, investigating the furnace, kind of like Mark did as well. You kind of get close to it. The heat coming out of it is insane, and you see just fire upon fire upon fire. This is less a furnace, because furnaces you've seen before have been coal or some kind of fuel with a fire coming from it. This cylinder with a little cage door just appears to be just fire incarnate. It is just entirely filled with fire. You are looking into the flames, and you think you see something move unnaturally to how fire normally moves.
heading below, Morrick, as you walk into the supply room, you are staggered by the amount of magical energy around Narlo. You see evidence of every school of magic just wafting around him. His aura is a confusing puddle of evocation and illusion and, every feasible school of magic.
After I detect that, I'm going to back up. Pikachu! Frank.
Okay. I'll go around and whisper it to everyone. Pikachu! Pikachu! A Pikachu! Pikachu! This would even seem weird after if I ask them if I like little.
Morrick backs out and Frank goes around mumbling Pikachu to people.
With that, can I just charge?
At what?
You wouldn't know what to charge at all. You've been told Pikachu. You know no evidence of anything.
I'm running down the stairs with my axe out already. My morning star. Just
Fair do. So you see Morrick stick his head out. He says Pikachu. Frank goes around and kind of whispers Pikachu to you. You barge past Morrick and down the hallway. What are you looking for?
I don't know. I'll just carry on battle crying until it goes on to a little slight kind of like.
As you go down there battle crying, the all four cultists stick their head out of their door, as bleary-eyed as you can look while wearing a full-faced mask, and just say, what's going on?
Don't worry about it, mate. I want to kill something. I thought there was something down there to kill her.
So you carry on going through the confused crew as they look at you, and you wonder if you're supposed to just be killing cultists. And you enter into the door at the end. A dwarf sat on the floor. He looks up at you and he says, "Hey, you're a big fucker, aren't you?"
Yeah, I am.
Well met, mate. He holds out an ale to you.
All right then. I'll take it. I was hoping for a fight, eh?
Yeah, I must admit, mate, I want to smash something real bad. I don't even know how I got it.
You want
That's
to
the
fight?
kind of day I'm having. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah?
Yeah, all right, yeah.
Go on then.
Yeah.
Weapons or no weapons, eh?
Well, I'm going to need a few boxes for this, but what I used to do with my squad is we'd just take turns headbutting each other and see who could stay on their feet the longest.
I like it.
Yeah?
Yeah?
So he kind of pulls over some crates and stands up next to you. He says, "I really appreciate this, mate. I needed this."
Yeah, me too, bro.
He looks at you and he says, "Ladies first. That's how we normally do it."
All right then, off you go.
Banter. Okay, he rolls a 5. He goes in for a headbutt, and he doesn't even. Your head doesn't even move at all, and
just grin.
Yeah. What do you say?
That's it, man. That's all you got. I thought you were angry.
I wanted to go easy on you. You see, mate. Your turn. So roll a d20 and add your strength. So it's a strength check.
How about that, then, you little bastard?
So you bring your head back and just whack it into his forehead, and he stumbles back a bit, and it doesn't fall off his crates, but he gets his foot in and he says, "Whoa, I remember a halfling. Oh, come here, let me headbutt you again." He gets an 18 this time, so he gives you a smack of a headbutt back. He says, "Yeah, the halfling was in Westbridge. He was in the inn. He was headbutt me again, mate. Come on, your turn."
20.
Yeah, you smack him this time. A massive bruise appears on the top of his forehead where you headbutt him, and he kind of pounds on his chest with all the adrenaline you're bringing up, and he says, Morrick, I like your friend. No, it's just that raccoon with the penis." He goes to headbutt you back, and he headbutts you quite hard, but he hits it exactly on his bruise, and he's like, oh, that hurt. He said, and he sits down, like, "You got this one. Yeah, big fucker, this is your round. But when I'm fit, I want a rematch.
You're on, man. We'll probably lose though again, man.
I might try and remove curse on him. Hold on, I've got to think how Brian Blessed talks. Hey, no, I can't do it.
Just say Gorn's alive.
Gorn's alive. No. Something's dreadfully up with you. You're full of magic, and you're not a magic person.
I feel full of magic, Morric. It's my head is fuzzy, my arms are laggy.
I think something might have happened to you, and someone might have put a spell on you to lure us into a trap. I'm going to try a spell called Remove Curse. Don't be alarmed. I'm just going to touch you.
You know I don't like all this magic stuff, but yes, go on then.
I touch Narlo with Remove Curse.
And so you lay your hands on him, work that magical energy through your hands, practically giving this guy like a back massage. He leans into it a little bit and then catches himself and stands up straight. While you don't feel the telltale magical essence of a curse lifting like you have before when you freed Frank from the grasp of the Berserker Axe or dispelled Marlowe's bear curse, you do feel so because you have this unique perception of both spells active at the same time. You see the cloud of magic around him clear, and you just see that is evidence that this guy has been through the magical ringer. It looks like he has had spell upon spell upon spell cast on him. While your remove curse lifts a lot and definitely removes a lot of the fog in Narlo's memory, it doesn't appear to have adversely affected him in anything. Adversely affected him in a good way. That's a bad sentence. De-adversely. Proversely. What's the opposite of adversely?
Good.
Yeah, has not affected him in a good way.
Do you remember anything else?
Yes, it's all become a little clearer. So we were hired by you, Morric. It seemed so hopeless at first, and then we ventured to Longsaddle where we met with the Harpers, a magical family. I don't know if you know of them, but they were very willing to help, more than willing to help actually, and they used their contacts and told us that they'd seen your mother traveling with a black Kenku. She didn't seem to be traveling with him against her will, and they were traveling south. So we decided to follow south, and the Harpers, they supplied us with harpools. They supplied us with magical horses. I was a bit unsure at first, but these horses could run like the clappers. And there was someone else came with us. A human man called Gert. They said that he knew the area well, and he could guide us. And we carried on into Tribor, and we met with Darathra. She seemed very fond of you, Morric. I don't know what impression you gave her, but it was definitely a lasting one. And she was more than willing to help us because of that. She asked around town, and she discovered that, yes, indeed, a Kenku and a dwarfen female had passed through Tribor. They'd stayed at the Everwyven house. We tried to talk to the guy, but I mean he was a massive douche, like a massive douche. He would only talk to Waterhavian nobles, and we carried on south. Urgula. We spoke to an Urgula, and she said that they had headed south. So we headed to... Oh, no! Before we did that, I'd sent Ranrik with a letter to Phandalin, and Gert offered to travel with him. He said he knew the quickest way to Phandalin, so we sent them to Fandolin. Then I went to Westbridge. We met a halfling named Heravin Dardragon, and he ran an inn. I fear that is where my memory fails me, Morric. I feel awfully peculiar, Morric. I think I need to lie down.
I'll give him a little back.
He's just travel check.
Well, thank you for trying. You've done enough. You rest, and I'll leave the room with Harji. I think we need to bust that pub up. We had an Urgler. You knew a Urgler, didn't you? She was in that battle.
She was one of the tribal people.
Yeah.
Arugula.
Oh yeah.
While
Yeah, we
this is
just
all
called
happening,
her
I'm not interested in all this dwarf stuff. Can I spend the whole time just reading a book on the deck? That's probably lasted like a minute, but I'm going to get a minute into that book. I'm going to go hard.
You read the first half of a table of contents.
Oh yeah, I'm saying that I've gone down to the storeroom at least once and taken the rope that the dwarf was bound with.
If Oz has a house, it's going to go in there. There's just going to be piles of rope down from ceiling to ceiling. It's just littered.
What's the armor class of rope armor?
We
The
will
amount he's
find.
got.
We will find out.
Vulnerable to fire.
During this point, Professor Kyoji wakes up and just starts screaming, and you kind of bring him back in up to the deck, and he kind of goes straight to a hammock and falls asleep. And then you start your descent into Westbridge. So you guys fly over Westbridge.
Is this where the east stops? The Westbridge.
Yeah, that's what they call it. The east stops Westbridge. It's great. When I edit this down into some kind of podcast, it'll seem like that's your joke. So that's nice.
Yeah, and no one will give it.
Where are you gonna land You've got the map here. Where are you gonna land the?
There's not even a bridge.
Oh, I'd like to try and land the airship on the inn's roof. Right, I'm going to guess it is the building above the circle building at the top. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where I was going as well.
Okay, yeah. So you land the airship on this building over here. You bring it down, and the dragon cultists are very good at piloting the airship, and they managed to just touch it down on this. It takes out the chimney as it lands, which clatters to the floor. But then they unfurl the ladder down, and you can climb down. A crowd of villagers have kind of accrued watching the airship and watching to see who descends.
As I was just saying, can I kind of greet them? Hey!
What do you say?
Hey, villagers!
There's
I'm
some children. There's some children down there waving at you, but like their parents like grab their hands and put them down. And you see a few people with their hands on weapons and things. They're concerned.
I'll pop down with Hajj and go, hello, villagers. We are friends. We are looking for the tavern.
People just kind of look at you, and one of the children, he points down the street to the left. It's that way around the corner, mister. Have you got? Is that airship yours?
It is. Yeah.
Can I go on it?
Yeah.
And the mother kind of shoots you is it safe? Look.
And I just jump around and go, 2 gold, 2 gold.
And someone, Gizzle, as you jump down, someone looses an arrow at you.
Brilliant.
But it just goes flying straight over your head. And you see 3 or 4 other people notching arrows and pointing them at Gizzle.
I will block the way. I'll jump in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't shoot the little goblin here, the friend.
I don't think they're like goblins.
I'll put you in
No
the
one
goblin
lets
bag.
goblins, Gizzle.
Not a goblin. He's a baby of gangrene.
He's not a goblin. He's a very naughty boy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You pick him up and pop him in the carrier, and everyone.
The goblin baby carrier,
watches it.
as it's named on my inventory.
Can I just be like miming out of the carrier like 6 guards?
Gizzle's doing that thing, where he points at his eyes and then points at the guards in turn.
Yeah.
It's freaky, scary yellow eyes.
How many are there?
There's 5 people aiming
5.
arrows at you.
I'm not even bothered looking if it's not more than 6.
I'm going to flip the little kid that told us the direction a goblin.
Kind of grabs it and looks at it with glee in his hand, and his mother grabs it and just throws it back at you, Frank.
Well, I'll throw it back at the kid. I'm a really good musician. Would you like a little show?
Yeah, I will, mister. You're getting that bagpipe out now, are you? Okay.
This is like crowd dispersal techniques.
Right, I'll perform at a town now. They like me.
This little kid, he just danced like a little ditty while you were playing with your bagpipes. He says, well, you landed on the inn, sir, and we all had to leave because it's not structurally stable anymore. But the tavern is just round the corner this way. Don't take these people's money. We don't know who they are. They just landed on the inn out of nowhere.
Can we try and see if reputation has gone this far? Because we've done stuff.
Yeah, we saved
We are
Tribal.
the Conservation Society. This is my friend Marlo. You must have heard of Marlo.
The small child gasps. And he says, Mum, there's our Preservation Society. And she smiles a little, and he said, hey, you must be Frank. Are you Frank?
Yeah.
And you said Marlo. He's the one that he die.
He's the goat.
He's the goat.
Meh.
The kid looks
That's
really
the first thing
confused.
Marlo has said. That's the first thing Marlo has said in 2 hours.
The kid looks really confused but excited, and he slowly picks up all the gold that's kind of in the floor now, and the mother doesn't stop him, and she kind of looks at you all and she says, "If you are who you say you are, welcome in Westbury. Pass without troubles. Thank you for trying to keep us safe."
Now to the tavern.
So yeah, you head on round the corner. You easily find the tavern. It's called the Harvest Tavern.
All right, everyone, follow me. And I'm going to bash the door open and go in. All right, everyone, out. We have business with the tavern keeper.
Well, do
Whoa.
Intimidation.
intimidation.
Yeah.
Thank you. Morric means business. There's one guy at the bar drinking. That's the only person in there, and he quickly gets up and rushes out behind you. The one man that was in the tavern at 8 a.m. in the morning quickly hurries out, and as you walk in, this is the strangest tavern you've ever been in. It is filled with what most people would call art, with quotation marks.
Modern.
There's what passes for modern art in the Dungeons and Dragons world. There is a painting of a halfling, but instead of arms and legs, it has lobsters. There is a gigantic stuffed bear, but it is completely hollow apart from a vase. And there is indeed a life-size statue of a raccoon with a stuffed, and Morric knows this, ogre penis sticking out of it. And there's a halfling walks down from somewhere behind the bar and enters in through a door behind the bar at Morric's intrusion. He says, "Yes, how can I help you? I suppose it's a bit early. We normally only have Kevin in at this time."
This dwarf over here, you recognize him?
Yes, he was in here with his travelling companions. Yes, a few days ago. Yes.
Tell me if you noticed about them when they were here, and did anyone speak to them, or just tell me everything?
I will tell you what is unusual. They didn't buy any ale, and large groups of dwarves that pass through would normally purchase some ale, but they were up here.
Excuse me, was that racist?
I'm not certain. So you're a dwarf. Was it racist?
Are you saying we're all alcoholics? I'm gonna bash my staff on the counter.
Morric, would you like a beer? You seem touchy.
If you're paying.
Yeah, I will buy a couple of coconuts for everyone.
Heroin pours 4 pints per person. So it's like 24 pints. Yeah, he pours 24 pints.
Did Kevin leave his pint on the table, on the bar as well?
Kevin very much took his pint with him.
He's in there at 8 o'clock, of course. He's taking it with him.
He was very carefully trying not to spill it on the way out.
How much is that? Sorry.
These pints. He says, let's say these ones are on the house. I suppose the pipes need cleaning anyway. They might not be the best ones, and your small dwarf here looks like he could need a drink.
Yes, dwarves do, yes.
Yeah, in my experience as well. Thank you very much. In that same way that people that are telling racist jokes in pubs, like, kind of radiate to people that are also telling racist jokes in pubs, and that kind of justifies their horrible behaviour.
How long ago?
5 days.
If they didn't buy anything, then what did they do, and what did they ask?
Well, they were asking about Enku and a dwarf lady. I really am confused why I'm going through this again. He's just there. I've told him everything.
All he can remember
dwarf. He drinks
is
too
a
much.
raccoon penis.
The raccoon penis that's my finest possession.
Is it for sale?
Yes, but I wouldn't part with it for no more than about 20,000 gold pieces.
You do not understand currency.
Change the subject a bit, but it seems like you highly value penises.
I highly value art, my friend. Art.
Check this art out. And Morrics going to put a frost giant's penis on the counter, and it's going to start to defrost and like put water and ooze and horrible stuff all over the counter. Smells a bit fishy.
He kind of puts his hands out to like at right angles to frame it from different angles. And what is this representing?
I need to Google a word to make sure I understand it.
I mean, you kind of digressed from actually trying to save your mother to let's sell a frost giant's penis.
Papa needs some gold.
It represents the fallacies of giants and how the irony of this giant was murdered by a cloud giant which has no penis. It means like it doesn't mean anything, but yes, more.
Yeah, give me a deception roll.
14.
He says, I would give you 500 gold pieces for it.
Well, what about if I do this? And I'm gonna take a holy symbol out of my bag and stab it in the top.
510 gold pieces.
Gold. That worked out quite well.
He starts writing down your description of it. He says, okay, so the dwarves passed through. They asked about Kenku and a dwarven lady. I told them that, yes, they travelled through here, but the dwarf lady was in chains, which seemed of import to your dwarven friends. So at this whole time, Nalo is just kind of stood in the back, like rubbing his head, like trying, like willing himself to remember this conversation that's being told about.
Can I try lesser restoration on Nalo while he's trying to remember?
Yeah.
I'll put a hand on him and go, there, little dwarf man. And
you come back to Heroin, and he says, Kenku, he had a nasty cut on his face, and he was a bounty hunter, and he was transported this dangerous criminal to Keldal, and asked directions for Keldal, and I told him the best route would be to head to Red Larch. It was getting late in the evening, so I suggested he stayed there, but he was very certain that he wanted to travel directly to Keldal, so I gave him direction. That's what I told your friend here. And Frank, yeah, as you I'm gonna say you give him a magical head massage. Nalo kind of nods. Did we all finish our pairs of pints?
I respectfully refused mine.
You should use suggestion on him.
Can I try persuasion on Oslevo? Because he's been sober this whole time.
I'm not going to get you to roll. I'm going to get you to try and persuade Oslevo.
It would be super rude to refuse after.
He's an elf, isn't he? I forgot. I completely forget himself. I spit on his shoes and then walk away.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Drink your drink, ungrateful elf, and then I walk away and spit on his shoes.
That's something that maybe you two need to unpack at a later date.
So I assume you don't like elves.
No.
I just look down and look back up and then look back down.
Frank is super racist.
And then I just leave the inn.
Can I do a minesweep of the pints? Just down.
We'll finish up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing it with you. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Ship will share.
To a race?
Go on then.
Marlo, are you drinking any drinks?
I've got 4, haven't I? I'm taking them with me.
Morrick, did you drink?
I drank one of them, but I think someone else wanted to start my other one.
Hardy and Frank finish up the rest. I'm not going to get you to roll Constitution. I'm going to say that you're both poisoned for now. That is what they put. That's what they put on intoxicated enemies. So
I don't know what you're fucking talking about.
I am not poisoned. I am fine. I could do this all day.
You guys like Hardy's off talking to like just a column, and Frank's talking to the penis of the raccoon.
I'll fuck you up, man. That's what I'm saying to the column.
Get him, Hardy. You can have him.
I'll say to Frank, look, as you walk across the room, it follows you with its eye.
It does.
You get back in the airship and it takes off. It has to go over Crypt Garden Forest, but after that it comes back down and you go along plains to Keldell. You don't encounter much at all, really. Actually, you see evidence of logging in the area. Lots of trees cut down. Wagons that don't seem to be manned at all. And as you come into Keldell, you realise that it was probably used as some kind of logging camp. You see evidence of these wagon trails coming in, lots of trees being dragged in on the outside of that. It's kind of built into westward underneath it. There's buildings in amongst the trees. But something that you do notice is that all of the grass around Keldell and all of the trees have all seemed to die off. So the airship lands on the outskirts of Keldell, and the cultists will not go any further. They're a bit superstitious bunch, and as you walk in, you are indeed standing on lots of dead branches, dead leaves, dead grass. Everything has died. And as you walk into Keldell proper, you see several wooden buildings. It is just surrounded by stillness. You don't hear any birds. You don't hear anything, actually, and everything just looks really quite dead. This is the village of Keldell. On a hill to the south is a church rising up on the hill.
I suggest everyone get their weapons out. This is definitely going to be a zombie place.
I'm already hiding behind the tree.
I will cast Mage Armor on myself.
I'm going to drink one of my pints.
You spent the whole airship ride like keeping these pints as steady as you could so they didn't spill. You even you managed to climb up on the rope ladder without spilling these pints. And as soon as you walk into Keldell, everyone starts preparing for battle, and that's when you start drinking your pints.
Are these windows?
Yeah, so in front of you is a large winding path leading into the centre town, and 3 buildings. One very clearly a farm. You can see the wilted crops in the field. The one directly in front of you, yes, has a window. Actually, all 3 of them have windows facing you.
What's Haji doing, man? He's already halfway through the town.
Haji creeps in between 2 buildings, kind of trying to be as stealthy as he can.
Could I
That's stealthy, mate.
try and
Boom.
sneakily move here and peek into this window?
So yeah, you move up to the closest building, kind of duck down and kind of look up into the window.
I see him doing that, so I do the same.
The bedroom that you see into, Oz, just looks like a well-kept bedroom. Gizzle, you peek in and you see a bedroom that shows clear signs of a struggle.
And with that, I'm going to kick this door down.
Okay, Haji goes around to the 3rd building and kicks the door open. As you do, I mentioned before that there isn't really any sound anywhere, and the sound of Haji smashing this door down reverberates around the dead wood and the buildings. You all hear this echo, and Haji's probably a war cry. As you go in, Haji, it just seems to be in an abandoned room.
Can I investigate said room?
You look around the room, and everything seems normal to you until you notice a piece of paper sticking out of the floorboard. Just a tiny little corner of a piece of paper.
I will grab the piece of paper. I feel like it could be a trap. but I don't give a crap.
You pull it out, and it's a envelope with an M on it.
I will put it in my pocket for Morric, and with that, kick this door down.
You kick the door down to the bedroom. The window in this room is open, and it seems as if someone tried to climb out of the window, or did climb out of the window. Marlo, you're heading into the centre of town?
Yes, I sauntered into the middle of town, and I stuck my foot on this well here, and I'm going to drink another pint, and then I'm going to shout, "Hello!"
And your voice echoes around.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
So would I have seen this?
Looking from
Not the inside, but
looking out the windows of what is very clearly a farmhouse, you see the dead fields and a small kind of shed in the background. Frank, as you move up and Haji comes up as well, you guys see a dead body at the base of the fountain, and its arm is outstretched and it is pointing to the south.
Has it been there for less than 10 days or like 2 days? Is it fresh?
Give me a nature check. It seems fresh.
Okay, I'll have a go.
As I eye up Frank doing this, I'm just going to shout to him, Tupperware, bag of time.
Okay. Do I recognise the body before I start having a go?
You do not know this person.
I'm going to shout to everyone else. Anyone recognise this corpse? I don't want to meet your mum, Morric.
I feel like to save you from embarrassment, I should just reach out and get like some fingers out from the bag of time and give you them if you're hungry.
I'm not hungry, but I just like to keep on top of it, you know.
I'll chuck Frank one barbarian arm.
Who's the real monster? You have barbarian hands in your bag. Just want to eat the dead body on the floor.
He says that as he kind of like turns around and hunches over and chows down on this barbarian arm. Don't look at me! You notice that this corpse, round his finger, is tied a piece of parchment.
With the letter M.
We never would have known this if Frank ate it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't eat parchment. I'm not an animal.
I mean,
I could read the note that Haji gave me a second ago.
You open it up and it says, the people in this family left for a sack, and oh dear, it appears they didn't come back.
I read that out loud.
When you say sack, do you mean like the sort of pillage and steal sort of sack, or do you mean it rhymes with back?
You're the linguist and you're reading it.
Yeah.
while this is going on, I'll give the parchment paper to Morric as well.
This parchment I was given, did it have anything written on it?
You appear to have misplaced a friend. I hope they don't meet a messy end. I'll be watching from atop my perch as you venture towards the church.
This wind changer seems a bit of a prick, mate. All these fucking riddles and shit.
He does indeed.
He's never done riddles before.
And with that, I kicked down another door.
So yes, so you search through this house again, just an abandoned room, like abandoned house.
Can I peer through this door? Just slowly open it.
You found sort of like a makeshift tavern, clearly where the logging camp people got together to eat and drink.
Since we've misplaced a friend, where's our owl? Marlo, where's the owl?
Owlie!
I'm going to go back over to the corpse. I'm going to speak with dead.
You cast your magic and kind of swirl that energy together in your hand and let it off, and it flows into the eyes and nose and mouth of the corpse, and a semblance of false life is breathed back into the corpse as the corpse kind of coughs and dust flies out of its mouth, and it looks up to you and it says, "Yes."
Hello, dead fella. What? Who killed you?
A birdman.
Oh, he's a dickhead. We've met him before. Do you know why he killed you? Was it provoked?
He killed us all.
Oh.
We did nothing.
What a penis. I feel bad just quizzing you, but do you know which way he went, little dead man?
He went to the church.
Oh, did the Birdman, the Kinku, the dickhead Kuro, he have anything with him?
He dragged a bound dwarf.
Oh, probably could have guessed that. This is a two-part question. Would you like me to do anything with your corpse? Also, do you mind if I eat your corpse?
Bury me with my family. And the corpse just crumbles back into a dead body, because that's technically a sixth.
I think he's okay with me eating him.
While you talk to the corpse, your colleagues finish a thorough search of the other buildings and find nothing else to report.
Kizzle, can you stealth us all up to go to the church?
Pass without trace, yeah, plus 10.
Yeah.
But it does only last an hour.
No one looked in the outhouse and the farm.
I was wondering that.
Might be where the rest of the family is, Frank, if you're hungry.
I'll quickly run over there and kick down the door.
You run up to this shed and kick this door open. As you do, you hear several whirrings and clicks as several crossbows fire at the same time. And as the door bounces back against the wall, you see a bound dwarf on the wall, a bound female dwarf on the wall, as 8 crossbows fire and 8 quarrels fly into the dwarf, and she dies instantly.
Oh, shit.
You better shut the door and walk off.
And as the door bounces back, closed from how hard you kicked it, there is a piece of paper on the door with an M on it.
Hey, Morrics, man. I got to make it.